Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you as part of our offering on the upper tier. We're bringing you a little Carabao Cup predictions for the semi-finals. Quick little look ahead. Obviously, huge game tonight. Newcastle entertaining Arsenal at St James's Park with a 2-0 lead as well. Can Arsenal overturn that 2-0 lead? Well, I think if we get the Arsenal that we got against Man City, certainly they can. My heart says Newcastle, but my head is thinking Arsenal could turn this around. If Arsenal can get a quick fire goal, can Newcastle maintain that situation and can they hold out? Which Newcastle will come out and play as well. We know they're absolutely fantastic up front. Lots of threats. Gordon, Isaac, Joe Linton we're hearing is out, but in the midfield as well with Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali and all. Tonali looking fantastic since he came back as well. But Newcastle have really struggled in recent weeks, and surprisingly enough at St James's Park as well. So could Arsenal go up there and do a number and turn this around? Certainly it would be a massive statement from Arsenal if they could do this. It would be a real bounce even into that run in the league and all that kind of stuff, and also booking a date at Wembley, which is always fantastic for any teams. Arsenal under a lot of pressure to deliver silverware this year with Arteta as well. Would the Carabao Cup suffice the masses if they didn't get over the line and turn over Liverpool in the league? Maybe not, who knows. Maybe it would be the start of something where they could move on from. For Newcastle, pressure under Eddie Howe there a little bit at the moment, being 2-0 up and stuff. If you were to squander that and Arsenal were to go through, huge questions would be asked of Eddie Howe. Little sort of rumblings in the background as well and stuff like that as well. So let's see what happens there. Prediction wise, I think Arsenal are going to overturn this. And I hate to say it as well because, for Newcastle, I think Newcastle after that final where they didn't get over the line and stuff like that, they probably need another return to Wembley and stuff like that. So it would be massive for them. For Arsenal as well, heading away on that winter warm training session in Dubai and stuff like that, they'd love to go away now and they booked a date later in the month in Wembley and stuff like that. Would be absolutely huge for them. But there's something about this Arsenal side at the moment. They're kind of finding that steeliness about them as well. Newcastle, a tough place to go. I think it'll be interesting to see how this game starts. Do Arsenal come out all guns blazing, as they say, excuse the pun, and really go for it, or are they patient in the way that they play? Newcastle, will they sit back or will they go hunt that third goal that could in effect kill off the tie, with Arsenal then needing 3 for penalties or 4 to go through, which would be a huge task. Could Arsenal come out on the attack and could Newcastle hit them on the break? So many parameters in this and stuff like that. I am going to go with Arsenal going through. I think it's hard to see by Arsenal in the form they're in at the moment. Can they replicate the Man City game? I think they can. I think if Joe Linton's out, that's a huge loss for Newcastle. He's that powerful midfield kind of engine that pushes them forward and stuff like that. No doubt the quality of Gordon and Isaac is there. And they can be very, very dangerous. So Arsenal will have to be careful. But I've just a funny feeling this is going to be an absolute belter. On then to Thursday, Liverpool, we're hosting Tottenham. 1-0 down. What a strange game that one was. We absolutely battered that Spurs goal. But that young keeper that they've brought in, he had one of those Courtois days and stuff like that. But I think going up to Anfield, semi-final, trip to Wembley on the line, I think this is going to be too much for Tottenham. I think Liverpool are going to go about their business in a very, very structured kind of way. They'll be on it. They'll know what's on the line. We do love those early trips to Wembley. And again, like Arsenal, will give us that bounce in the season as well to push us on. Big games coming up. Obviously, we've Plymouth at the weekend in the FA Cup. We can make changes there. No disrespect to Plymouth. But I think he'll go really, really strong tonight. Obviously, Trent is probably going to be out until the derby. We're still not sure what happened there and stuff. He sat down, he went off, but we're not kind of sure. But the gaffer is kind of saying that today is more than weeks, which means he's going to hold them back over these 2 games and we'll have him ready for the derby and stuff like that. Does Jota come in and feature tonight? Will he be needed in that kind of shithousery way against Spurs? He loves scoring against Spurs, remember? Poor Richarlison with that chicken dance last time, and then we went up and broke his heart, thank God. But let's see what happens tonight or tomorrow night. It should be really interesting for us. It feels like it's an obligation. It's a semi-final of a cup at Anfield. chance to go to Wembley early on, bounce the season and all early with a trophy. So there's an obligation on us. With Spurs, there's a kind of a sensitivity there in terms of the hunger and the desire to get a trophy is overwhelming at this stage. And on top of that as well, so many injuries for Spurs as well, so many key players out. So it'll be interesting to see what way they set up. It'll be interesting to see, do they just do like what they kind of did in the Brentford game, a little bit of a low block there and sit in. I think we've got more quality to pull that apart now. We've been doing it this season with teams with low blocks. Will they sit on that, or will they try and break away and get a second? I think they'll play a chess game and sit in. I think it'll be very, very difficult for them. I think we'll create a lot of chances. I think with the quality that we have, I think with the Anfield crowd, I think with them having so many young players, and I know Archie Gray has come in and been all over the pitch playing for them, has been exceptional. Now Spence has come in and had a rejuvenation there, and the boy Bergvall has come in, and the keeper as well. All young players who have come in and done really, really well. But they've never really experienced that atmosphere at Anfield on a cup night under the lights. This will feel like a Champions League kind of night. And it'll, the pressure and the atmosphere and everything else might be just that bit too much for them. So I think I'm going to go here with a Liverpool win, and I think I'm predicting a Liverpool-Arsenal final. And how fitting that would be, looking at the title race and stuff like that at the moment. But there's so many permutations to this. We could get a North London derby final. You could also get Newcastle going through as well. You could have a Newcastle-Liverpool. We always create these amazing games with these history of these 4-3s and stuff like that. So a final would be really cool. And really cool for Eddie Howe as well to be back at Wembley again. But it's a real difficult one to call. I think for us, we're in a rich vein of form at the moment. We're going out, even the win against Bournemouth, the win against Brentford, these various things. Okay, the PSV game you can just park, it's irrelevant really, but I think in the league, and I think at Anfield as well, I think we've been absolutely exceptional. And I just think we'll have too much for Spurs. I think we'll get back into the game early on, and then I think we'll control the game. And I think what they'll be looking to do is hold on to what they have, and maybe try and get it to penalties or something like that. So I see Liverpool going through, and I see Arsenal going through. Two, you could say in some respects because of the scorelines, two upsets, but it's really not an upset really when you've Liverpool at Anfield and Arsenal in the form they are in at the moment. Newcastle slightly struggling, Spurs struggling, lots and lots of injuries to key players. I just don't see in any world how it would be acceptable for us not to go through with Spurs so decimated and us really playing as well as we can. We would have to be really, really off it. Obviously the key areas, obviously Conor Bradley's going to have to be careful. He'll be going up against Jed Spence, who is a very, very, very good player. Bergvall will be his tenacious self. The keeper has had a drop off, I would suggest, since that Liverpool game. That Liverpool game, he was sublime. He was unbelievable, Courtois-esque. But since then, there's been one or two clangers and stuff like that, and a few questions and all that kind of stuff. And he hasn't really produced that performance that he produced against Liverpool that day. I was watching it in a bar in Florida. And we were really disappointed. It was a poor result, and the bar I go to, it has the mockers on us, because every time I've gone to that bar to watch a game, we've never won a game. But really, really looking forward to this, and hopefully looking forward to booking a place in another final in Wembley early doors, giving us that bounce in the league as well, that bit of confidence, that day to look forward to, and that stride from us and stuff like that. Arsenal will be probably thinking the same before they jet off. So let us know your predictions in the comments. Let us know your lineups, all that kind of stuff. I'm going for an Arsenal-Liverpool final. That's what I'm looking for. But hey, I'm not going to be too upset if it's Newcastle. I'd be very upset if it's Spurs. Until next time, Reds, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and drop a like on the video. We will be back tonight, don't forget, with Pro Wrestling Weekly. We're going to be doing a full review of the Royal Rumble, plus all the latest wrestling news and the fallout from it. The Charlotte Flair hate, all this stuff that's going on. And tomorrow night I'll be back with Darren for Thursday Tier Talk. We'll have a kind of an FA Cup episode. We'll obviously reflect on the Carabao Cup, and we'll be doing a kind of a watch-along for the Liverpool game as well. We'll keep you updated on that. Always fun, second half around that stage. And we'll be doing our Beat the Bookie for the FA Cup, which is always interesting to say the least. Talk to you again real soon, Reds. Up the top of the tables, Reds.